Okay, so today, October 21st, 2015, is officially Back to the Future Day because in Back to the Future 2, Marty McFly time travels into the future to October 21st, 2015. And I figured instead of reviewing Back to the Future 2, which is what I really want to do since it is the day that he travels to in Back to the Future 2, I can't review Back to the Future 2 without first reviewing the first Back to the Future movie. It just wouldn't make sense for me to review Back to the Future 2 without reviewing Back to the Future 1, so that's why I am doing Back to the Future today on Back to the Future Day. At least I'm doing something Back to the Future related, right? Give me a break. Come on, give me a break. Reviews for Back to the Future 2 and Back to the Future 3, those might come at another time, so let's do this one first. Back to the Future. This could contain spoilers, so you've been warned. Back to the Future is ultimately this movie where this kid named Marty McFly, who's played by a really young Michael J. Fox, he's kind of this down on his luck, kind of dealing with family issues type of kid. He has this doctor who's a friend of his, Dr. Emmett L. Brown. He calls him in the middle of the night to meet him in a parking lot in a mall so he can show him this DeLorean, a time-traveling DeLorean. So this DeLorean is a time machine, but it turns out that half the technology and the stuff needed to fuel the time machine, Doc Brown stole from a bunch of Libyans, and they come and shoot him down, so Marty hightails it into the DeLorean, hightails it out of there, it hits 80 miles per hour with the DeLorean. Boom, he goes back in time to 1955, and he actually gets stuck in 1955. He doesn't know how to get back, and he actually... There's an interesting aspect of this movie. He actually comes into conflict with the fact that his parents are supposed to meet. He actually meets his mother, and his mother kind of likes him, so she's trying to date him, and he can't have that happen. What I like about Back to the Future is the characters are so relatable and so likable that you just like them. Marty McFly's a really likable dude. You can tell he's like a ladies' man. Like I said, he's kind of down on his luck, but he's also a ladies' man. He's got a good family. They look after him, even though their financial situation isn't the greatest. They still care about him, and as weird as Crispin Glover is, he plays Marty McFly's father, George McFly. I mean, there's probably people out there that can relate to George McFly. There's probably people out there that can relate to Doc Brown, too. Doc Brown is this crazy scientist who came up with this cool idea. I bet there have got to be people out there that would be like, I want to be like that guy. I want to create stuff like he did. Watching this movie, and you're like, the science in this movie is pretty cool. It's not that overcomplicated science stuff that goes over your head and you have to think about it for weeks and weeks upon end. No, it's science that you can actually understand. For instance, the DeLorean runs on 1.1 gigawatts of plutonium. The plutonium runs out when he goes to 1955. Marty McFly has to find a way to get that plutonium back into the DeLorean so he can go back to the future to 1985. Just so happens that conveniently in 1955 there's this lightning storm that struck a church tower, so he's going to use the electricity from that storm to power up the DeLorean to give it enough plutonium so that he can go back into 1985 and back into the future. This movie does a really good job of having conflict too. There's this bully that bullies George McFly when he's in high school. Biff, yeah, he's part of the conflict too. Has good enough of emotion, drama, hilarious stuff. There's some real funny stuff, like that scene where where Marty McFly's playing guitar at the high school dance and he's just like rocking out on the guitar and everybody's just like looking at him like, are you out of your mind? That scene was actually pretty funny, and it's scenes like that make Back to the Future really cool. Science stuff makes you think that this stuff could actually happen. If somebody created a time-traveling DeLorean today, I'd be so happy. I'd be like, I'm getting in there. I'm changing my name to Marty McFly. I'm going to October 21st. Well, it is 2015, so I guess that wouldn't make any sense. And going back to the science stuff, where it makes sense, because it makes sense, it actually makes the science stuff really cool. It's not boring science stuff. I mean, come on, if this could happen in real life, how many people would not want to go in a DeLorean and time travel? I would definitely be there in a heartbeat. This is a movie where you look at the science stuff and you can't just say, well, it was over my head. I had to think about it. I didn't like it. It's not this movie. Back to the Future is just a really cool movie. The science, it's cool because of the science stuff, and the science stuff makes the movie cool. Everything kind of balances out. Guys, Back to the Future is one of the coolest movies ever made. It is awesome. It is like that ultimate kid/family movie where the kids can watch it with the parents and the kids can watch it by themselves and they'll still be amazed because of all the science stuff. It's so cool watching the science stuff work and blend so well in a movie like this. The characters are good, the dialogue's really good, the plot is really good. Back to the Future is just all around likable. One of the best movies ever made, and that means Back to the Future is excelente. I'm a little pressed on time, so I can't do the whole crowd clapping thing. Fun little fact, after today, the whole Back to the Future trilogy will have taken place before October 21st, 2015, which means the setting for all three movies will have taken place in the past starting tomorrow. So once your calendar hits October 22nd, 2015, Back to the Future is in the past in the timeline. You want about the sequels? We know the second one is, it's somewhat good. I'd say it's more entertaining than good, and the third one just downright sucks. Seriously, has anybody watched Back to the Future 3? Seriously? I sure as hell know I'm never gonna watch Back to the Future 3 probably ever again, but happy Back to the Future Day. Have you guys seen Back to the Future? I want some feedback. What is your favorite Back to the Future movie? If you have seen them all, what is your favorite in the trilogy? Drop me a comment in the comment section below. And for more news and reviews on movies, movie trailers, video games, and TV shows, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. If you're on YouTube, hit the big red subscribe button, and welcome to Madden. Now I'm going on a road, but wait, what road? Where I'm going? There are no roads.